We are once again happy to welcome you to the next episode of Awaken to the Yoga series with me and my dear friend and our yoga teacher Deepa. So, welcome Deepa and thank you very much for being a part of this series.
Pleasure to be here, Ash, as always.
Lovely. And thank you all for watching our all the previous episodes, liking them, sharing them, and giving us some lovely feedback as well. So we are happy that you are taking time out of your day-to-day life and watching this because the whole aim of this exercise, the whole aim of creating this series was to get the ancient knowledge of yoga, which our ancient yogis have given us and make it available to today's contemporary world, the fast-paced world where even if we take a pause for a minute and read about them, will contribute big time to our lives. And
Yes.
I've personally experienced that. And that was the reason we decided to do this. So after talking about yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, we are now coming to the fifth limb of Maharishi Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, which is Pratyahara. The name itself is very, there is so much which I started thinking about when I heard the word Pratyahara. So let us
Yeah, it's
know
quite
more about
esoteric.
quite esoteric, totally. So we are happy to know more about it. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to straight away go to the point and ask our yoga teacher Deepa about Pratyahara. So Deepa, please tell us what this beautiful term Pratyahara means.
Yes, Ash, you're absolutely right. Pratyahara is it's a very esoteric sounding word,
Yep.
and actually, it is one of the probably one of the lesser known aspects of the Ashtanga Yoga.
Yes, yes.
Everybody knows
Listen.
Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. People even know Samadhi because Samadhi
Yes,
has been popularized in contemporary
yes.
culture and and movies, etc. But Pratyahara, very few people know.
Right.
So, uh, so Pratyahara itself, let us start with what the word stands for.
Yeah.
It's a Sanskrit word, and it you can break it down into Prati and Ahara. Ahara means food,
Food.
and Prati is it's like controlling what we take in within ourselves. So it's like
Wow.
controlling what we take in within ourselves. Just like
Hmm.
pranayama is controlling the vital energy,
Energy.
pratyahara is controlling the external influences. It's
Wow, that's
controlling
interesting.
the gaining mastery over external influences in a very simple way. So
Okay.
it's almost like just to give a very nice analogy, because this is a very powerful analogy. Everybody can visualize it. It's like you look at a turtle and you see
Hmm.
the turtle withdrawing its limbs into its shell. So pratyahara
Wow.
is very much like that, where you withdraw your all your sense organs, all your five
Hmm.
sense organs, you withdraw it within you to bring the
Wow.
focus inward rather than outward. Yeah.
Wow. That's such a beautiful example, Deepa. And this reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita, um, Sankhya Yoga, or the second chapter. I think it's one of the most rich, most
Yes,
chapters in Bhagavad Gita. And I always tell when people
it's a
ask me,
beautiful chapter.
yes, when people ask me if I want to begin reading Bhagavad Gita, what do I do? And my answer is read second Adhyay or the Sankhya Yoga. And in that, there is a very beautiful shloka. It is second Adhyay, I think it's 58 shloka, which talks about when Arjuna, the prince, the chariot, asks his charioteer, the Lord himself, Lord Shri Krishna, about steady knowledge. Um,
Right.
so at that point of time, the Lord says that when a person is able to withdraw his sense organs from the world, just like the turtle is able to pull its limbs into its shell, his knowledge is steady. And I think that is exactly what you
Wow,
thought, what you
beautiful.
spoke. And yeah, that's exactly what you spoke, Deepa, right? Like,
Yes,
wow.
absolutely. It absolutely. I think all this knowledge that is there in all these various texts and scriptures, they're all integrated. They're all
Yes, yes,
connected.
very much.
And Samkhya is the foundation of Vedic and Ayurvedic and yogic philosophy.
Wow.
And no wonder Samkhya is such an important part of Bhagavad Gita as well, because it
Yes,
lays the foundation
it
for
does.
what's
It
to
does.
come.
Yes, and I think that
Right.
chapter itself introduced you to a lot of things. So thank you for that beautiful explanation, and thank you for giving that analogy. It makes things
Pleasure.
so much clear.
Yeah. And
Yeah. So
yeah, so
tell me,
as
Deepa,
mhm,
what do you think are the types, or I would say there are different levels of are there different levels of pratyahara or different levels of ahara?
right. Yes, absolutely. So the term itself is, gaining mastery over the external influencers. But again, there are so many layers to it. And I would like to talk about one quote. Swami Shivananda
Mm-hmm.
made a quote on Pratyahara. He said that Pratyahara itself is termed as yoga, as it is the
Oh,
most important limb of yoga sadhana. So
wow.
Swami Shivananda actually says that out of the 8 limbs, Pratyahara is the most important limb because it, and I understand why, because it makes sense. It comes at a juncture where you have a sort of gained mastery over the external aspects of your existence, like you're
Mm-hmm.
observing all the yamas and niyamas, or pretty much you're trying to observe, so you're trying to be as content and
Hmm.
truthful and less greedy, less covetous. You gain mastery more or less over your physical body.
Physical body. Yeah.
Your body is strong, your vital energy is flowing well, your prana is flowing well through pranayama. So yama, niyama, asana, pranayama are being taken care of.
Care of.
So
Yeah.
now, with the foundation being set, now we are at that stage that we can actually start practicing pratyahara, because it is very difficult, Ash, it is difficult to go from asana and directly to meditation and samadhi.
Yes, I
It's,
totally agree.
and people cannot make that link. They can't make that connection. Okay, so fine, I'm doing these amazing postures and I'm doing all this wonderful pranayama. I'm feeling great, energetic, all of that. But what is the connection to meditation, samadhi? So pratyahara is that connecting link because it brings in breath, it brings in your control of your senses, it brings in an aspect of going inward, and it's like that connecting link where it directs you how to go in from out.
Wow. And Deepa,
You
that
know,
is so beautiful because as a meditation teacher, often I face this challenge from my students who say that I would have come for a meditation class, but I can't control my mind. And I say that because you can't control your mind, you need to do meditation more. It's more like the cause and effect. But
exactly.
now I see what is the missing link, between
Yes.
them being able to do meditation, and that is pratyahara. So, wow.
Yes, because unless people are able to understand that they are they need to be able to have a better control over the external stimulus. We are always going to get caught up in our in what's happening around us.
Yes.
And even if you look at it now, like for example, let us talk, Ash, about the different levels of ahara.
Levels.
So that
Yes.
way we will explain a little more about
Sure,
pratyahara. So
sure,
there are
sure.
three three levels of ahara, and I have to say here that a lot of what I'm saying right now is influenced by a very beautiful article written by Dr. David Frawley, and
Hmm.
he's my teacher. I'm doing a Ayurveda course where he's my
Wow.
teacher. So
Wow.
I'm very much into reading what he's writing. So he talks about 3 levels of ahara. So we take in 3 things. One is physical food, water.
Hmm.
We take in impressions through the various sense organs like sound, touch, sight, taste, smell. And thirdly, we take in stimulus from associations. So from the company we keep.
Yes.
So one is the food, water, one is impressions from our sense organs, and one is the influencing aspect of the company that we keep, like the friends we have, the
Wow.
acquaintances we have, the society in which we move. So all 3 aspects control how we are, how we survive, how we live our lives. And um, so so he says, Dr. David Trolley says that pratyahara is twofold. It involves withdrawing from wrong food, wrong impressions, and wrong associations, and
Wow.
simultaneously opening up to right food, right impressions, and right associations.
That's
So I
brilliant.
think this is
That's
it is
really
so beautiful.
brilliant.
It is very logical because if
It
you
is.
really want to start gaining mastery over what's happening around you, you got to be able to understand what's the trigger, what's the
Yes.
stimulus, and how you can kind of create that barrier between you and that stimulus.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Deepa, I'm connecting this to my learning about energy. And I remember the first time when I started learning Reiki level 1, and when I asked a
Yeah.
basic question to my teacher, what is energy and what makes our energy? The first thing I ever learned was there are three things which make our energy. One is the ahar or the food, which you just spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then there is also vichar or your thoughts. Okay,
Wonderful.
and then there is breathing. So breathing, of course, we learned in pranayama as the limb. But I can connect the dots now that because ahar is such an important element of us, and
Yes.
beautiful example of saying that we can take what we need and let go of what we do not. And in today's world, Deepa, there is so much available to each one of us, right? There is so much,
Absolutely.
we have
An
access to
overload.
everything. There is
An
overload of
overload.
data because we have a
Exactly.
smartphone. You need to know about anything. You need to know about Dalgona coffee, Google it. You want to watch the latest movie, we go on one of
That's it.
the platforms, the
Netflix,
Netflix,
Amazon
Amazon
Prime.
Prime, and all of those, and we will want to watch. Then there is a plethora of movies available. There is so much entertainment available, and
Social
uh,
media,
social
YouTube.
media. You want to know about something, it's available, but how many of us really process it, right? Because
Yeah, true.
there is ample data available. But what do we do with that? Because I always say there are four levels, and I learned it from one of the talks which I had watched, where it was mentioned about data as the core source of what we are getting currently. The world is overloaded with data. Everyone has access with data. How much of the
True.
data is taken to be information? The next level of data is
Hmm.
information, because information is something you know. Okay, I know
Yeah,
about 4G and 5G, and I know about the latest iPhone, and I know about the latest
right.
web series which has come up, which is information.
Yeah,
I know about it. I know about what is happening in the
right.
current world. News gives me a lot of information, but how much of
Correct.
that goes to the next level to become knowledge? Because after
Oh,
data and
so
information,
true.
the next
So
level
true.
is knowledge. And when
Yes.
knowledge processed, used, becomes wisdom. So, how many of us really use the data to go to wisdom? Now, I always say choose your entertainment wisely, because your entertainment is going to determine your subconscious. We don't
Yes.
understand it right now, but a lot of times when we are all throughout,
So true.
watching something, reading something, feeding something, we are giving it to our mind, and our mind might believe that as the truth. Because if you are going to believe the
Correct.
reality of what a web series tells you, and if you're going to believe that in today's world this is what is happening, you are absolutely
Right.
going to, you're operating from your mind, you're not going beyond your mind, you're not allowing your higher
Absolutely.
intelligence to use. So
Right.
such an important message which you have given through this pratyahara, and I
Yeah.
really I'm very happy to say that there is so much information available, but what do you do with that information?
Exactly. What kind of filters are you creating to
Yes,
be able to take what you need and leave out what you don't? You know,
absolutely.
that's the key.
And people are saying that I'm getting bored and hence I'm watching web series. There is nothing, and I have nothing against it, but what do you do out of that? How about spending time doing something which will be like an investment? So I call it, your
Yeah.
time also is money, right? Your time is money,
Yeah.
your energy and time is important. So is that kind of entertainment worth my time and energy? It's almost like spending
Exactly.
money, and when you invest money you
Yeah.
get good returns. So instead, if you go towards
Right.
knowledge and wisdom, you're investing your time and energy. So
Yeah.
to all our wonderful viewers
Absolutely.
watching, I'm really happy to talk about this beautiful concept what Deepa explained. So choose your entertainment wisely, choose your circle of friends wisely, because they are the ones who are going to push you to your best limits, or they are the ones who are otherwise going to just waste your time,
Drag you down.
drag you down.
Exactly.
So choose wisely. You have a choice, and you always have a choice. So yes, as you rightly said,
Absolutely.
we need to use filter when we are
Yeah.
looking at pratyahara.
Yeah. Absolutely, Ash. You're absolutely. I love what you talked about, what you said about data, information, and knowledge. I think it's very true. And then, that's the reason, because it is a complex topic.
It
Um,
is.
you know, uh, Pratyahara is not just, as simple as controlling the food that you eat. It's, controlling your senses, controlling your action, the kind of stuff you do, controlling your energy, controlling your mind. So all of that falls under the aspect of Pratyahara. So, I can correlate that to what you just said.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thanks for sharing. So, Deepa, my next question after knowing this is, and of course, the most important question, how do we practice Pratyahara? And here I'm again asking both on the mat and off the mat because I always believe that,
Good question.
I always believe about yoga is asking about on the mat and off the mat. It's so important to know. So, can you please tell us how do we
Very.
practice it?
Great question. And I have to say that, we can have a wonderful intellectual discussion about Pratyahara and get a high out of it. But unless we can bring it down to practicality and see
Yeah.
how can we practice this, there's no point. So
Hmm.
this is a very important part. How do you practice Pratyahara? So let us look at how to practice on the mat. When
Yeah.
you're on your mat in a studio, in your house, wherever, I always tell my students, I actually give them, even without knowing that it was part of the Bhagavad Gita. I was giving them this turtle analogy where I said, withdraw your senses inward,
Yeah.
like a turtle withdraws its
Yes.
limbs in, because only when you do that will you be fully aware of what's happening within your space, not just
Right.
your body, but the
Right.
space that you hold. Observing your thoughts, observing your reaction to certain sensations,
Hmm.
observing your reaction to certain thoughts in your mind, and
Hmm.
and trying, and then learning to create that gap, that space between what's happening and between your reaction to it. you know so that space is very important, because
Wow.
that in that space of observing something and then reacting to it or acting to it, that makes a huge difference. It's not a knee jerk reaction anymore. It's thought out, processed kind of a reaction or an action. So I would say, so I always
Brilliant.
tell people, when you're on your mat, when you're in your asana, you know go in, because uh, Pratyahara is like a precursor to meditation. Even before you sit for meditation, if you can just become silent within yourself and observe, that itself is a preparation for dharana, dhyana, and samadhi.
Hmm.
So it's a
Hmm.
wonderful preparation.
Hmm.
And off the mat, this is even more difficult, because it's on the mat, it's still specific. You can relate
Yeah.
to, you can visualize it. But off the mat, how do you practice it? Because of course we talked about, being controlling the kind of company we keep, what kind of stuff we watch on television or social media and around us, the kind of entertainment we pursue,
Yeah.
and how frequently we pursue that kind of entertainment. All of that determines how we practice pratyahara off the mat. um, but I would say maybe one of the simplest things that we can do is, to be able to do things that, like, connecting to nature in a
Hmm.
deeper way
Yes.
is a very
Sure.
good way. Is a very good way to practice pratyahara. So
Hmm.
something like sun gazing, for
Hmm.
example,
Hmm. Hmm.
or just going to the seaside and sitting quietly on your own and just watching that empty space around you, the feeling the vastness of the space
Yeah.
around you,
Yeah.
is also a sort of a withdrawal. You're cutting off from everything else and you're focusing on something, meditating on nature, something like a digital detox, or
Yes. So much
something.
necessary.
Exactly, a silent retreat or a vipassana. I know friends who have done like a weekend, a 2-day complete digital detox, or a complete
Yes.
2-day silent retreat where they're not speaking at all. And
Yes.
these are some things that people can do. But that I want to talk about this beautiful quote that Dr. David Frawley, again, he talks about. Um, it's an old saying, actually. It's not his quote, but
Sure.
he talks about it. He says, "The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." You
Hmm.
know, it's a very powerful quote,
Very,
because
very powerful,
the,
of course.
all of us want to do that. All of us want to, achieve the the zenith of meditative, expansive awareness and consciousness and all
Self-actualization,
of that.
as we call the
I
self-actualization.
know. Exactly, but we have something that pulls us back, and what you have around you in your body and around you is what determines how much you can go forward and how much you will be dragged back down.
So true, so
So,
true.
in a very simple way, I'll just sum it up here. Just like we fast, we say fasting is good for the body. So reduce your food intake for a day, or all of the Sankashti or Ekadashi upasas
Yeah.
people keep for physical. Similarly, your mind also needs to fast,
Hmm.
and you have to figure out, you have to find ways where your mind is able to quieten and withdraw.
So beautiful,
Because,
Deepa.
yeah.
That's
So before we think of uh, deep diving into meditation and samadhi, I think this aspect of being able to withdraw and control the external influences is very important.
this is
So
this is incredible, because when we do our retreats, okay, so Unicorn Insight, we have been doing retreats. We had two retreats till now. We had one overnight and 2 day retreats till now, where we always tell our participants to have 1 hour of silence. We call it silence hour, and we just tell them to
beautiful.
not interact with anyone, not even eye contact. You just have to be there, and they are not meditating, or they are not closing their eyes or listening to a chant or something like that, but they are just silent. And
Mm,
we tell them that after 1 hour of silence, then you can journal down your thoughts, but that 1 hour is completely going to be in silence, no talking, no
right.
interactions. And now I understand, like whatever we have been doing as energy healers, it's so connected to this ancient science of yoga. Of course, everything is connected, and that is, that's
Yeah.
how I think all of this works. But now I understand what exactly pratyahara is. And when we have
Mhm.
retreats, or when we have, silence hours, or even whenever we have meditations, I'm definitely going to read more on this. And I think we will have a lot of offline chats too after this video is over about pratyahara, so that we can
Absolutely.
benefit. I can benefit from what you have learned, and probably you can benefit
And
from what my
likewise,
experience was. Like, yeah, of course, there is
likewise.
always knowledge sharing, which I think is one of the best things about learning with each other and growing together. So thank you for having such a making this beautiful, incredibly powerful topic so simple for our viewers, and so that the
Pleasure.
application goes to all of them and people learn a lot from them. So Deepa, once again, gratitude and thank you for being a part of this series. We have 3 more to go
Thank
now.
you, Ash. I know we have three more to
Yes,
go, and
and
I
I'm
can't wait for the other three also.
same year, and now Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. I think as we are going higher and higher in terms of consciousness, there is so
Right.
much knowledge which is opening up. So I will
We are
definitely see.
learning also so much
Yes, yes,
through
of course
that.
we are learning. I'm learning so much. My notebook is. I've written so much. I've written notes throughout. I've been writing everywhere that, every time we have a discussion, I write. And I'm definitely going to read a lot. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And thank you for all the beautiful explanations you gave to make everyone aware of this beautiful science of yoga. And for all of
Thank you, Ash.
you,
Thank you as well.
yes. So for all of you who know Deepa or who do not know Deepa, you can follow her on her Instagram, which is Aham Deepa. I personally love her Instagram handle and the lovely. She writes a lot of articles too on yoga. She is a yoga teacher. She's a certified Sivananda lineage yoga teacher, and I have taken classes with her. I've loved the classes with her. She's a wonderful soul, and of course, my very good friend. So you can follow her on her Instagram handle. And if you are following us on Instagram, please follow us on unicorn_insight. My Facebook page is Ashwini Chube Official, and there is another brand page which is unicorn_insight. And if you're, of course, watching us on YouTube, do not forget to like this video,
Like,
share, and
share,
subscribe.
subscribe.
And of course, share it with as many people as you can, because the whole aim of this exercise is to create knowledge awareness among each and everyone,
Awareness.
and give a contemporary
True.
touch to the ancient 1000 and 2000 year
Exactly.
old, more than that, I think,
Teaching.
the practice of
Yeah.
yoga.
No.
So we will see you once again next week with a new limb of yoga. Till then, lots of love, light, and blessings.
Thank you.
Warm greetings and namaste from both of us to all of you. Lots of love. Bye bye.